What's up, chat? Okay, like I said in the other video, I was going to do a breakdown of the Crash 1000 where I almost made a similar mistake like I did on the Jump 100. So, let's get right into the video. So, everything is already mapped out. Liquidity taken out here. Okay, liquidity was taken out here. Did this give us structural liquidity, a break, another break, another break, all the way down to here that I'll be expecting price to get to. That's my final point or whatever you might choose to call it. Now, I almost made a similar mistake on the 1 hour. Like I said, the highest level after price had taken out the leg that took our liquidity should be your structural liquidity, and that is this. So I'll just use this to annotate it. So this should have been this right here was the highest point the price gave before breaking this low, which was the leg that took out the liquidity. So anything within this box from this high all the way to this structural liquidity inside of this, like I said, those that trade demand and supply, the 50% should have been an entry on the previous video that I explained. So here would have been a very sweet spot for those that trade this, and you go all the way down here. But now I almost missed out on this trade because of a similar mistake that I made on the Jump 100, and I'm going to explain. But thank God I didn't, because like I said, when you fail, when you make mistakes, you have to learn and check why you failed, and you learn and relearn. So now on the 1 hour time frame, yeah, on the 1 hour time frame, what happened in that Jump 100 happened again, and this is it. While I was expecting price to get to this zone, I haven't seen this on the 4 hours time frame. You understand? In respect to this video, I just went from the daily to the the 2 hours and the 1 hour. So I didn't actually check the 4 hours, and it almost cost me this trade. But immediately the um Jump 100 happened, and I had to start analyzing all my trades, and I discovered this mistake. So now look at this. Within this zone, price now took out another liquidity here. It might not be so obvious, but price actually took a liquidity out here, and now gave another structural liquidity here. So you see how silly this is. And in all honesty, I had already set my limit, my um my limit somewhere here. This other block now. There's another block here. My limit was around here, just something deep into the other block, and my stop loss was just above it. This was supposed to be my entry. But after I got stopped by the Jump 100 and I analyzed and discovered my mistake, I then rushed into this one and started reanalyzing, only to discover the mistake, the chaos that would have happened. You understand? So I avoided it. And as you can see, this is a very sweet setup. You understand? On a very good day, this is a very good setup. And see how tricky market is. It actually got to that zone, a big drawdown, and just went deep, small into profit, we would have been taken out eventually. So it makes no sense. So just like I said, you just have to look out for your higher time frame analysis, and that is the 4 hours or the 8 hours or daily. And now, just to be clear, sometimes charts can be clearer on the 1 hour. You can still enter on the 1 hour and it's very clear. But all I'm just trying to say is, in a situation whereby you're seeing a setup on the 4 hours and on the 1 hour and they are close together, I mean, why not just go with the 4 hours than risk entering the 1 hour? on some days, price can choose to work with the 1 hour and go its way. You understand? You're not the one telling market what to do. Price has the right to do. I mean, like they always say, price is always right. So we are just speculators. So at the end of the day, just do what you know, then allow price do the rest. So I would advise you stick to the higher time frame charts. Then if price takes you out, at least you know that you did what you know, that you stuck um to your pattern, you stuck to structure, you did everything within your best, but just that price, had other plans for itself. So, like I said, once you've noticed this highest point before the break, you just mark out this demand and supply tool and just wait for price to get into the 15 minutes, into the 50% of this, then you can sell off or you can buy depending on the structure or depending on what you're looking for in the market. And now sometimes price don't even get to this 50%. Sometimes it can get close to it, or sometimes it can go deep into it. Like something like this, you can go deep into it and still sell off. Or sometimes it might not even get to the 50%. It might just go just slightly above it or below it, depending on the direction of the of market, and still sell off or buy off. So the only thing you just have to know is that from the structural liquidity to the protected high or low, which is this zone, which is here, that's where you should start looking for your entry. So any institutional reference points, like now this is another book. This is a very nice place to enter. You can just mark this out and you can, you know, enter from this zone and still mark out your stop loss here and go all the way down. So the only thing is that it kind of gives you a wider stop loss, you understand? So depending on your risk appetite, I mean, there are other ways you can still go down to the lower time frame as low as the 5 minutes or even 1 minute, depending on the pattern of trading you trade, and still look for suitable entries that will suit into your equity or the money you want to risk. You understand? So it goes both ways, but the main thing to understand is that price just has to respect the structure. In a situation whereby it doesn't, which sometimes happens, at least you know that you did what you know best to do, but just that price just happened, which I mean everybody takes a loss. So, but the only thing you just have to make sure that you're trading your pattern so that at the end of the day, you know, your hands are clean. You did your best, but price did what he wanted to do. So that's just it for this crash 1000. I almost repeated the mistake I did on the jump 1000, but I noticed on time and I corrected it. And yeah, price is still in profit, and I'll be waiting for price to get to the zone. However, since price is selling down, you can still look for opportunities from this leg down to here. So I can't see anyone for now, but your price reaches this level, you're allowed to find re-entry down to the zone. So yeah, that's it.